right, but joining us is Pat Brett. Pat Brett is the owner of Doobies. Yeah, Doobies. It's a bar at 22nd and Lombard in downtown Philadelphia. And on Sundays, she chooses not to run Eagles games. That's almost heresy when you think of how people knock themselves out to use that as the centerpiece of what they present on Sunday afternoon at a bar, restaurant, that kind of thing. Let's go to Pat Brett. Hey, Pat, happy birthday. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Dom.
Well, tell us, Pat, why is it you would commit Kamikaze Run be the only bar in the Delaware Valley probably that doesn't have the Eagles game on?
Well, I do animal rescue, and I'm an animal advocate, so I can't, in good conscience, show a team, especially my hometown team, that hired a dog murderer.
Okay, and I share that from when now, did you start this early on with Michael Vick?
Yeah, we've been banning the game since the Eagles hired him.
And it just, how did it happen that the news reports finally got around that you were doing this?
I'm not really sure. Every year I post something on a Facebook page as football season starts,
right,
to remind people that we're happy to show any other game, but we won't be showing any Eagles games. And for some reason, this time it seemed to go viral.
Yeah, so what is the response of your customers? That's got to be pretty difficult on a Sunday afternoon, right?
It's actually, it's not really that much of a problem. My customers understand my point of view and have actually been very supportive.
Now, I stand second in line to none, Pat, except maybe you, when it came to Michael Vick early on. I have to say, over the last year or two, he has said all the right things, and based upon what I can tell, done all the right things. So I would ask you the question, and I certainly support your right to do this. What about redemption? What about being open to redemption and seeing that this guy's not the same guy, they would argue, Pat, that originally did these horrific crimes against animals?
Well, I've heard all the arguments, and I have actually read interviews with him. I watched the first episode of his reality show, and to me, it seems like the only thing that he regrets is that he got caught.
Okay.
He made, especially in his reality show, he made everything in that first episode. Poor me, you know, I got taken away from my family. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. What about those animals that he murdered? They don't get to do anything anymore.
So, what would you have to see, Pat? Do you know, or would strike you that he is truly contrite?
Honestly, I just don't believe him. I don't believe that somebody that has that in them to do something like that to an animal can all of a sudden be sorry for what they've done. It was so heinous what he did that I just can't believe that he's repentant.
Suppose I said to you too, but there have been a lot of bad guys that have played pro sports of one thing or another that have...
I agree.
That have beaten women, that have done all kinds of horrific things. This has to be near the top of the list without a doubt. And yet, you know, we go on, we watch the games, etc. because of that.
Well, I'm personally not a football fan because I don't like it. It's a violent sport and I don't care for it. I much prefer baseball.
Okay.
And fully support our Phillies even though they didn't have a good year. But, you know, it's the same thing, and I'm behind the Phillies 100%. But if somebody, you know, if the Phillies hired somebody that did something like that, I wouldn't be able to show Phillies games.
Wow, I commend you for this, Pat. You know, most people, because of what you believe now, would give up after, what has it been, 4 or 5 years with Vick? I think it's been that much. I differ with you a little bit, and I think, I don't think he's that good of an actor. I know what you said about the reality show. I think he's come away, you know, in my mind, that he's a little bit better than this guy, and he has paid probably not enough of a price. He got put back in the league too quickly, but I do think he's acted better than I can tell over the course of time.
Well, I'm sure that he's got a wonderful PR firm behind him to help him polish his image. And again, I just, you know, for me, what he did, I can't forget.
I hear you. Now, Pat, Doobies is at 22nd and Lombard. I hear you're open from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
What's the signature of the house? Is it a food? Is it a drink?
I think that probably what we offer best is we're a neighborhood bar. We offer good value for your dollar, and we're very big on craft beer.
Okay. Well, we have to snap in, particularly on a Sunday afternoon if we don't want to see the Eagles. Hey, Pat, happy birthday, and thank you for joining us today very much.
Thank you so much, Dom. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Pat. All right, Eric had to do a lot of convincing. We're going to get. Look, I support her right as a business owner to do that, and I support her commitment. I have been among the harshest of Vick, but I have to say, I think Vick has made pretty good progress. I don't think he's that good of an actor. But I commend any business that's willing to, as a matter of conscience, possibly take a hit. You know, not showing the Eagles on a Sunday afternoon, that's, you're really taking a risk there. Let's go to the callers. Let's go to Tony in Northeast Philly on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Tony, welcome in.
Hey, Don, real quick. I would have loved to have asked 2 questions. And I would have respected her if she didn't want to answer them. But A, is she pro-choice? And B, does she believe in redemption? Michael Vick, and Michael Vick's behalf, Michael Vick was one of the key guys that brokered the peace with Bradley Cooper and the team when he had that incident. Michael Vick was a man about it. He stood up and he helped. I'm a dog lover. I love my dog, but I find that these animal rights people, save the whales, don't club the seals to death, but yet you can abort a child until 5 minutes after they're born.
Well, Tony, I don't know that they're all about that, though. I got your point, but, Michael Vick, I wouldn't be giving him gold stars at this point either. I mean, he's doing a decent job at things. I would concede that. I think he's made progress.
But Tom, he's paid a higher price for what he did. I'm retired law enforcement. That guy's paid a higher price for what he did than I know of guys that have killed people, murdered people, and have gotten it. Matter of fact, there was a wide receiver, I think with the Vikings, who ran a guy over, was drunk driving, and killed somebody. He paid the family money and was able to go back to playing football. Matter of fact, I forget his name, but he used to be with the Eagles.
Yeah, well, but you could say in a drunk driving incident, that's not intentionality. Thank you, Tony. I'm not condoning it. I'm glad that somebody, I'll put it this way, is putting their money where their mouth is, and because of what they think is a bad example, what they think is, these athletes that are out of control, not wanting to associate with that. I think, as you know, that Vick has made progress, though. And in the beginning, I used to get hell going after him. Remember, he got that Most Courageous Award and all that? I don't know what's in his heart, but I have to say he does appear to be a better person. What he did, those that try, they're back to the excuse-making again. It's a cultural thing. It's horrific. I interviewed Michael Vick once, as you may remember. And I was listening to him on the other side of the interview. I didn't seem to be a bad guy, like I heard anything he was a bad guy. But he was very cold. There was a coldness to it. And that's my clue, my insight toward why he might be able to do that. Let's go to Kate in Pipersville on Talk Radio 1210. Hello, Kate. Welcome in.
Hi, Dom. How are you today?
Good.
Just wanted to make a point that Pat and I don't think you did. Mike Vick served 2 years in jail for those offenses, did he not?
Yeah.
So, she didn't mention that.
Well, he served 2 years in jail, but he came back to the NFL, and he's made since then about $25 million.
What does money have to do with it? Is he not in that?
My point is, though, Kate, you just don't go from doing that and not have to have a period of time before we give you the stamp of redemption.
Oh, I see. So, it has nothing to do with jail time.
Well, jail time is a minor matter. I mean, sometimes, I hope societally we send a message. You commit something this horrific, it's not just going to be about paying time in jail. maybe the rest of your life people will have trouble forgiving it.
Well, that's obviously. So, I mean, I'm not a huge supporter. To me, that makes a difference. If he had gotten off scot-free,
I know what you're saying.
It's a completely different story.
Thanks very much, Kate. Look, I know people go to Doobies because they support this woman and she does better business. So I think it's pretty bold. Think about that. If you're at a bar in Philadelphia on a Sunday afternoon, and it just became viral recently, and you're engaged in this, you know, you might have your customers say, hey, I love the bar, but I'm going to go somewhere else on Sunday afternoons. Or you might even have those that are rabidly, something's wrong with you. You're not allowed to hold this position with Michael Vick. And they come after you on that. So, no, I support her in that up and down the line. My point is, though, I do believe in redemption. But with me, it comes very slowly, very grudgingly. And Michael Vick, the problem was we were told to shut up and sit down and take it by Andy Reid and the Eagles and everything else way too quickly. And by the apologist, you said, well, they were only dogs. And then the spin, and I think Tony was trying some of that, oh, we care so much about animals. Yeah, we do care about animals, Tony, I'm sorry. And I know the syndrome of somebody who only cares about animals and not humans. But you know what? I don't think you can put that tag on someone like Pat Brett. She doesn't sound like that to me. And anybody that can do that to animals, they can do it to humans too. 855-839-1210, AT&T and Verizon Wireless.